Good morning everyone. Welcome back to the class, and as you remember that we have started the chapter expansion. We also have seen some of the identities, and we have seen how can we use those identities to simplify a given question. I have given you some questions, and I hope that you all are practicing those questions, and you need to practice a lot. You need to solve questions as much as you can. Okay, by the way, let's see here. I have taken one more questions, as there are many questions given in the book and there are different types of questions. So here in this question, if you see, one information is given, that is x square plus 1 upon 25, x square equals to 9 whole 2 upon 5. This is given, and you have to find x minus 1 upon 5x. As in the last class, I have told you, if some information is given and you have to calculate something, we will choose the identity accordingly. Like, we have to choose identity in which this term will come, or this term should come, or this term should also come, so that when this term will come, we will keep its value, we'll put the value, given value, and when this term will come, we will calculate this value. Okay, so by seeing this, you can see that if we take this, whatever we have to find, we have to find x minus 1 upon 5x. If we take this and we do the whole square thing, so if you do it, you will eventually get this term. I hope you all can recall the identity. Now let's see what will happen if we square this given term. Okay, now see, this is exactly like a minus b whole square, isn't it? It's like a minus b whole square. So if I ask you to compare, what is at the place of a, it is x. What is at the place of b, it is 1 upon 5x. Okay, so we are going to use or apply the identity. It is a minus b whole square. So according to the identity, the expansion should be a square plus b square minus 2a into b. So a square, a is our x, so it will be x square, plus b square, what is our b, this whole thing, 1 upon 5x. So it should be 1 upon 5x. This is our b, and according to identity, it should be square. A square plus b square minus, because it is minus here, so it will be minus 2 into a into b. 2 into a, what is our a, x, into b, what is our b, it is 1 upon 5x. Okay, so according to the identity, we have kept the values. Now we are going to see, we are going to simplify first. So it is simply x square plus, now you see it is 1 upon 5x whole square. So what to do, we have to square it. Square of 1 will be 1 upon 5x square. The square of 5 will be 25. Square of x will be x square. So it will be x square minus, and if you see the third term, if you see x and x, they are in division, so we can simply cancel them, and here we have 2 into 1 numerator, it is 2 upon, what is there in denominator, 5. Is it clear? And left hand side we are going to write as well x minus 5x whole square. So this much we have. Now if you see, x minus 1 upon 5x we were supposed to calculate, and here we are getting this thing, x minus 1 upon 5x. We have to calculate this, so we are going to write it like this. And here x square plus 1 upon 25x square, is it exactly the same thing given in the question, this whole thing? And at this expression, at the place of this expression, x square plus 1 upon 25x square, we can write this value. Simply it is 9 whole 2 upon 5. This is a mixed fraction given, we can write it in improper fraction. 45 plus 2, that is 47. I hope you all know how to simplify. So it will be 47 upon 5, because the value of this expression is given as 47 upon 5 minus 2 upon 5, what was there in the expression. So it simply we have to take the LCM. It will be 5, and you know how to take LCM. 5 and 5 will get cancelled, and here we have 47, again it will get cancelled. 47 minus 2, so it will be 47 minus 2 will be 45 upon 5, isn't it? And what we have in the LHS, x minus 1 upon 5x whole square. So we have calculated the value of this expression, this. But one more thing we can do, that it will be 5 9s are 45. So here we have 9 only. We have to calculate x minus 1 upon 5x. We have to remove this square. Okay, so the square will go to the other side and it will become the square root, as we all know, and we also have seen in the last class. So what we can do, we have this x minus 1 upon 5x whole square, and it is equal to 9. Okay, so what are we going to do? X minus 1 upon 5x, this square goes to the other side and it will become the square root of 9. So x minus 1 upon 5x, and we have learned this in our last class, that square root of 9 will be 3, as you know, or we have learned that 3. But are we write 3 only, or we will write plus minus 3? We will write plus minus 3, because we have learned whether you square plus 3 it will give you 9, whether you square minus 3 it will give you 9. So that's why we have learned that whenever we solve a square root, we always write the answer with plus and minus. Okay, so this is your answer. See, we were supposed to calculate this, and we have calculated the value as plus minus 3. Okay. Now let's take another question. Here I am going to take the next question. Next question is, if a square minus 4a minus 1 equals to 0. This is the given condition, or this is the given information we have. And one more information is given where a cannot be 0. They are saying that a square minus 4a minus 1 equals to 0, and a is not equal to 0. I will explain why they are writing this. A is not equal to 0. Find the values of, you have to find, I am writing it here. Find, there are so many parts of the question. First part you have to find is a minus 1 upon a. Rest of the part we will see, but let's see this first. Okay, so I hope whatever is given you are aware, or you know. Now let's see first that why they have why they have written this, that a is not equal to 0. Now if you see the given condition here, a square minus 4a minus 1 equals to 0, a is our variable, like x, y, z, a, s, these are all variables. Variable means they have different values. They can take whatever values, like 2, 3, 4, minus 2, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 7. They can take different types of values. But here, since a is a variable and it can take different values, but they have applied a condition that a can take whatever value, but a cannot be 0. That means a cannot take the value equals to 0. A cannot be. This means a cannot be equal to 0. A cannot take the value equals to 0. Now why they are saying this? Because whatever we have to calculate here, you see a minus 1 upon a. If in case a is taking the value 0, so if we put the value 0 here, minus 1 upon 0, now you see this thing, anything upon 0 or 1 upon 0 makes it infinity. So if it is infinity or not defined, this whole thing will be not defined, and that's why come back to the question that a cannot take the value 0, because if a takes the value 0, it will become undefined. That's why it is given in the condition that a cannot take the value equals to 0. Okay. Now let's see. Since we want this a minus 1 upon a to calculate, how are we going to calculate? Whatever information is given, let me write the information. A square minus 4a minus 1 equals to 0. These type of questions, when you get this is the question which is asked, or which was asked in the Maths Olympiad practice booklet. I remember we take the term of power, single power or power 1 to the other side. Okay, a square we will keep this side. Okay, minus 1 we will keep this side. Whatever term is with power variable and with single power, we will take this term to the other side. So this minus 4a will go to the other side. That will be minus 4a. If goes to the other side, it will become plus 4a. Is it clear? Let me tell you once again if it is not clear. Whatever information is given, what we do, it is of the square term, it is the term with the single power, and it is constant. So whatever term is given with the single power, we take that term to the other side, okay, leaving all the terms on the same side, okay. So here we have minus 4a. When it goes to the other side, that is 0 plus 4a, it will simply become 4a, and this side we have a square minus 1 as it is. I hope it is clear now. Now you see this 4 and a, they are in multiplication. That means a we can bring now again to this side, but since a is in multiplication, so a will come here with in division. So it will be here, coming here, or it will come here. A square minus 1 was already there. A is in multiplication, it will come here, or it will come to this side in divide is equals to 4. Is it clear? Are you following the step? Okay. Now as we all know, if something is written like this, x minus y upon 2, this 2 is with divide to the both term, x minus y upon 2 is with divide with x as well as y. So can we write it as x upon 2 minus y upon 2? Is it okay? Or if I tell you if we have a minus 3 upon 2, so can you separate the terms? Can we write it as a upon 2 minus 3 upon 2? It is actually the same. So that's what we are going to do. The same thing we are going to do here. We are going to write it separately. Can we write it as a square upon a? We are writing a with a square as well as a with 1 minus sign and 1 upon a is equals to 4. Is it clear? Okay, now you see here in this term, can we cancel 1a? So since it is a power 2 and here power 1, so it is only a minus, what are we left with? 1 upon a equals to 4. So isn't it our first term which we were asked to calculate? A minus 1 upon a, and this value is coming 4. And that's how we solve these type of given question. One more question is given, I'll let you know what to do, but you are going to solve the question. I'll explain, I'll help you all. Okay, now let's see the next part of the question. What is the second part to calculate? Second part, you are asked to calculate a plus 1 upon a. Here we are calculating a minus 1 upon a. Here we are going to calculate a plus 1 upon a. So how are we going to calculate this type of question? I have simplified in the last class. So let's see. We know this value now. We have just now calculated a minus 1 upon a. It is coming equals to 4. We are going to use this information now. Okay. So let's see. What are we going to do? We are going to square both sides. Okay. Squaring both sides will give you this and this. Now if you see, this is nothing but a minus b whole square. What is your a? A simply a. What is your b? It is 1 upon a. So a minus b whole square, according to identity, it should be a square plus b square minus 2ab. A square plus b square. What is our b here? 1 upon a. So 1 upon a square minus 2 into a. A is exactly a. Into b is what? 1 upon a. Okay, left hand side we have applied the identity. Right hand side 4 square will give you 16. Now if we simplify further, a square plus 1 upon a square, this a and this a, they are in divide. We can easily cancel them. So here 2 into 1 will be 2 simply with minus sign equals to 16. And here we have a square plus 1 upon a square. This minus 2 will go to that side and it will become plus. So I am going to write directly 16 plus 2 will give you 18. Okay. So just now we are getting this expression, but we remember we have to calculate this. Okay. So if it is clear, I am going to simplify. Now one thing, in the last video there was a question in which we were getting this term and we have simplified the same thing, but I have used one method in which we were subtracting to both sides, to this side and to that side. Okay, so in this question I'm going to use a different method so that you can see both the methods and whatever you feel easy to approach, or whatever you feel easy to solve. Okay, now here we have a square plus 1 upon a square equals to, I'm going to use the second method or second type. So here we are with this we have to calculate. So since this is with single part and we are given with the value of a square and 1 upon a square, it is exactly the same value, same question. Like if this is given and you have to calculate this, so what will you do? You simply square the given term, because you have to reach to this point. So it will be a plus 1 upon a. I am going to square it, and when you square, it is just like a plus b whole square, where our a is a and our b is 1 upon a. So we are going to use identity, that is a square plus b square. What is our b? 1 upon a. So it is 1 upon a whole square plus 2 into a. A is what? A. What is our b? 1 upon a. Okay, so we have applied the identity. Now see, left hand side is a plus 1 upon a whole square, which we have to calculate. So we are going to write it like that, is equals to, it is a square plus, if we simplify, 1 upon a square plus this a and this a will get cancelled. Now 2. This we have to calculate. We are going to keep it like that. This whole value, if you see, just now we have calculated, sorry I rubbed it, it was I think coming 1 upon a square, it was coming 18 I guess. Okay, so now we are going to put the value of a square plus 1 upon a square equals to 18. So we can write it as 18 plus 2. Okay, this value we have kept from the expression we have simplified already, 18 plus 2. Now it will give you 20, isn't it? So we have reached this, and we have to calculate a plus 1 upon a. So which means that this 2 will go to the other side and it will become the square root. I am going to solve it here. So we have a plus 1 upon a whole square and it is equals to 20. So this square will go to the other side and it will become square root of 20. And you have to simplify square root of 20. We know how to simplify. We will be writing the prime factors of 20. If you don't know, we have to write the prime factor. Prime factor means it will be 10, 2 5s are 10 and 5. So there it will be a plus 1 upon a would be 2 into 2 into 5. You see, it is 2 into 2 into 5. Now we have to pair it and we will take one digit out from one pair. So it is only one pair, that is 2. So 2 will come out, 5 will be there in the square root. And as we have learned that whenever now we will solve the square root, we always apply plus and minus both. So the value of a plus 1 upon a would be plus minus 2 root 5. Is it clear? Now let's see the next part of the question, what to calculate. Next part of the question is to calculate third part, a square minus 1 upon a square. Okay, now this, what are we going to do with this? This is exactly the identity which we have learned in last class. It is like a square minus b square equals to a plus b in one bracket and a minus b in the other bracket. Now if you see what is at the place of a square, exactly a square. What is at the place of b square? It is 1 upon a square, and this is exactly like this. So we are going to use this identity. Okay. Now since here we have compared what is at the place of a and b, we simply apply the identity. According to the identity, there should be one bracket in which we write a plus b. What is our a? A plus what is our b? It is 1 upon a, not the square. It is, if I write it like this, it is this only, na? This term 1 upon a. So it is 1 upon a. Okay. And next a minus b. What is at the place of b? That is this. Okay, a plus 1 upon a, what we have calculated, we'll put the value here. A minus 1 upon a, what we have calculated, we'll put the value here, and then we'll multiply those values and we will simplify. Okay. We have calculated the value of a plus 1 upon a as plus minus 2 root 5, and the value of a minus 1 upon a as 4. If I write it in bracket means they are in multiplication. Now 4 2s are 8 root 5 and plus minus. So the value of a square minus 1 upon a square would be this, and that's how we simplify the question. One more question like this I am going to take, but I am not going to simplify. I will just re-explain that how are we gonna deal with such questions. Okay, I am going to leave this question like this only so that you can compare. Now if this is given a equals to 1 upon a minus 5, okay, and where they are saying that a cannot take the value 5 and a also cannot take the value 0, then you have to calculate the same thing, a minus 1 upon a, as it was asked in the previous question. Now see, first thing, in the previous question this expression was given, here it is, this expression is given, so you can solve in any way. You can solve the quadratic first and then, or else you can, we have to simplify. So what I am going to do is this a minus 5 I am bringing to this side, since it is in divide here, and if it comes to this side it will be in multiplication, isn't it? So I am bringing it here, it will come like this, a into a minus 5 equals to 1. Is it correct? Okay, after this a which is already in multiplication with this a minus 5, I am going to take it to the other side. So it will come here in multiplication. A minus 5 is equals to 1 upon a. Are you getting the steps? Are you following the steps? Okay. Now if you see, we have reached to this question and we want a, we are getting a. We want 1 upon a, we are having 1 upon a, but we want a minus 1 upon a. So if what we do, we bring this 1 upon a to this side, then it will give you the same expression. This 1 upon a is in the RHS and with which sign? Plus sign. When this whole 1 upon a will come to this side, it will be with minus sign. The sign will change whenever we take the values from one side to the other side. So see, a is already here, this 1 upon a will come here in minus, it is like this, and this minus 5 when goes to the other side, it will become plus 5. So a minus 1 upon a, the value is coming 5, and the rest of the part of the questions are given, like you have to calculate a plus 1 upon a and then a square minus 1 upon a square and so on. Here if you see, as we have learned why this a is not equal to 0, because if you put the value a equals to 0 here, this will be 0 minus 1 upon 0. So 1 upon 0 will be not defined, and that's how you cannot define the question, and that's why the a variable cannot take the value 0. Also one additional information is given that a also cannot take the value 5. Why a cannot take the value 5? Because here in the given information, if you put the value 5 here, now see, we put the value of a 5 here is equals to 1 upon a is 5, so 5 minus 5 again will become 0. Again it is not defined, so when the question or when we put the value and it will become not defined, so that variable cannot take such values, and that's why these conditions are given. So we are going to see the different question. Here in this question it is given that using this identity you need to square this given term. Okay, so we need to square the given term using the identity a plus b whole square, and for that we need to split this term into two terms. So it is always easy to write it as 100 plus 37 whole square, is it? Now we can simply use this identity. If I ask you what is at the place of a, 100, what is at the place of b, it is 37. So now it is easy to apply the identity. If I write it 100 plus 37 whole square, it would be a square. So what is our a? 100. So 100 square plus what is our b? 37. 37 and the square plus 2 into a into b. 2 into a. A is what? 100 into b is what? 37. Is it clear? And after that we can proceed according to the operation given. Now 100 square will be 10,000, isn't it? Plus 37 square, I guess it is 1369. 1369 if I am not wrong. 2 into 100 into 37, that you have to multiply it and it will give you 7400. Okay, and after that you have to add them all, and when you add them, this plus this plus this, when you do this, the answer will come 18769. So this is the square of 137, and we have done, or we have squared this given value using this identity. Likewise, we have a different question given, or we have a question given with different identity, that is a minus b whole square, and here we have a square plus b square minus 2ab, and they are asking you to square 97. I think now it is quite easy to simplify. We have to split 97, but this time with minus sign, so you can always write it as 100 minus 3 whole square, where your a is 100 and your b is 3, and you can apply the identity. Okay, our next question is, fill in the blanks to make the given expression a perfect square. So one term they are using, perfect square. First we will see what is a perfect square and how are we going to fill the blanks. You are making it a perfect square. So if I ask you 25, and if I ask you to write it 25 as a perfect square of a number, so yes, 25 we can write as square of 5. That means 25 is a perfect square of 5. If I ask you 60, it is a perfect square? Yes, it is a perfect square of 4. If I ask you 9, is 9 a perfect square? Yes, it is a square of 3. If I ask you 144, is it a perfect square? Yes, it is a square of 12. If I ask you 174, is it a perfect square? No, we cannot write this number as a square of some other number, and that's how it is not a perfect square. So that means here what are we writing? We are writing like a plus b whole square. So we are writing some numbers and this square. That means we are making it a perfect square, and that's what we are going to do in our next question. We have to make it a perfect square. We have to write the expression in terms of the square of some other term. Okay, let's take first part of the question, that is 16a square plus 9b square. Now plus, this is the blank given, and now let's see once more. We have to fill the blanks and we have to make it we have to fill the blank and we have to make it a perfect square. Perfect square means whatever we are going to write, we have to write it as a perfect square of some other term. So first we are going to see what are we going to write here in the blank. Now before that, you see, this is a square given. Can we write the number along with this given as a square of some number, or can we, is 16 a perfect square? Yes, it is a perfect square of 4. So we can write it as 4a whole square. I hope you all know how are we writing. When you square 4, it will give you 16. When you square a, it will give you a square. Is 9 a perfect square? Yes, we can write it as 3b whole square and plus. Now you have to recall your identity. Isn't it like, if we take it as a and we take it as b, so isn't it like a square plus b square plus what should be the next term? 2 into a into b. So 2 into a, what is at the place of a? It is 4a given, not 16a square, it is 4a. So 2 into a would be 4a into what is at the place of b? Only 3b. So it will be 3b. Okay. So now you see it will be 4a whole square, 3b whole square, plus if you multiply it would be 3 4s are 12, 12 2s are 24 ab. So first thing, what to write in the blank, that is 24 ab. Now we have to write it as a perfect square. What is our a? that is, and since here it is all in plus, that means it is a plus identity, a plus b whole square. What is at the place of a? It is 4a, plus what is at the place of b? It is 3b and the whole square. Because at this place when we expand the identity, we will get a square plus b square plus 2a into b. So we have written it in form of a perfect square, where we have anticipated what is at the place of a, where what is at the place of b, and then we have written it in form of perfect square. Okay, now let us see our next question. And this question, I tell you, is very easy, as you already have solved this question in your class 8th. Okay, if a square plus b square plus c square is equals to 50 given, this is given, and ab plus bc plus ca is given as 47, find the value. You need to find the value of a plus b plus c. This is quite easy, by the way. As I told you all, that you have to use this given information, you have to calculate this term. So we will use the identity in which all the terms will come, and since it is 3 terms, so we simply use the identity of 3 terms, that is trinomial a plus b plus c, and what we will do, we will square the term. So now, according to the identity, what will be the right hand side? It will be a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab 2b into c plus 2ca. Isn't it the identity we have learned? Okay. Now here if you see left hand side, a plus b plus c, this is the same thing which we are supposed to calculate. So we will write it like this, a plus b plus c whole square. Now if you see these 3 terms, a square plus b square plus c square, the value of these 3 terms, it is given as 50. So at the place of these 3 terms, we are going to write 50. Is it okay? And now remaining 3 terms we have, if you see, is this first term we have 2, in the second term we have 2, and in the third term we have 2. Can we take 2 as common? I hope you know how to take common. You have learned this also in your class 8. When you take 2 common, what is there in the first term? 2 is already common, so what is there? A into b. Now here also 2 is gone as common, so we are left with bc, and then 2 is common, so we are here with ca. Now again 50 plus 2, and this AB plus BC plus CA, AB plus BC plus CA. Again the value of this term is given as 47. So we will write it as 47. At this place we will put the value 47. So it will be 50. Okay, so it will be 94. And when you add it, it will be 144. Okay, 50 plus 94. And left hand side what we have? A plus b plus c whole square. We have to calculate a plus b plus c. We have to remove the square. When you remove the square, it will go to the other side and it will become the square root. So if I write it, we have a plus b plus c whole square, and right hand side it is 144. When you remove the square, you take it to the other side, it will become the square root. Now square root of 144, I think you already know it is a perfect square of 12. Otherwise you can write the prime factor, you can pair the numbers, and you can take them out. It is simply 12, but whenever we take the numbers out from this square root, we always write plus minus. So the value of a plus b plus c will be plus minus 12. So this is the end of our first exercise 3a. So we are going to give you some questions from the exercise, and you please practice all these questions. Here we have seen the square identities, and in our next class we are going to see the cube identities, and we will be solving questions based on cube identities. Cube means power 3. Okay, and before that we will be giving you some questions. You need to solve these questions which we are going to give you. Also you can take questions from the internet and try to solve as many questions as you can, because we already have seen, as I told you, that practice makes you all perfect, and maths is all about practice, so you need to practice a lot. Also, not only you are learning, since you have plenty of time, so not only you learn these things, but try to explore new things in maths, as I've always told you that you need to practice, or you need to see a different things. I think last time I have asked you to see something or to learn something about infinity. I hope that you all have seen, and also this time I'm telling you to see something. I have heard of like a golden number or golden ratio. You need to find out what is a golden number or what is golden ratio and what is the story behind it. So please see, it's just a fun, knowing all these things is fun. So just engage yourself in good activities, do something productive. We'll meet in our next class.